Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite desserts. It's called Millionaire Shortbread, and it starts with a layer of shortbread, then you put a layer of caramel on top, and then you put a layer of dark chocolate upon that. It's sort of like a homemade Twix bar. For the shortbread, you need cold butter, powdered sugar, and flour. You're going to mix that all in a big bowl. For the caramel sauce, you need sweetened condensed milk, not evaporated milk. You need golden syrup, which can either be an agave syrup, a corn syrup, any sugary syrup that's light in color. And you're going to need more butter. This does not need to be cold since you're going to melt everything on the stovetop. And then you need chocolate on top. Today I'm going to make a mixture of milk chocolate and dark chocolate for the topping. You'll also need a scale to measure out your ingredients and a pan to bake and assemble everything in. First, you need to measure out 8 ounces of flour. Next, you need to dice up 6 ounces of cold butter. The pieces should be about a 1/4 inch in size. Combine the butter and flour together and work the flour into the butter between your fingers. After a couple minutes, the mixture should start to look like cornmeal and clump together when squeezed. Finally, you add 2.8 ounces of powdered sugar. Continue mixing with your hands until it starts to form a dough ball. Spread the shortbread dough in your prepared 8x8 pan into an even layer. Make sure to press it all the way into the corners. The last step before you bake the shortbread in the oven is to dock the surface. You use a fork to put a whole bunch of holes in the surface of the shortbread to prevent bubbles while baking. The timer just went off, so it's time to check the shortbread again. Got a nice ring of golden brown around the outside, so I think we're good. While this cools, we can focus on the caramel sauce. To make the caramel, you need 5 ounces of butter, 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk, and 3.5 ounces of golden syrup. You want to put the saucepan on high, melt the ingredients together, and bring it to a boil. You'll want to scrape down the sides because the sugar can burn easily. Once you're at a boil, you want to continue cooking until it turns a caramel brown color. You'll want to stir constantly at this point so that you don't get any burnt areas. Once browned, pour the caramel over your shortbread base. I like to add a little salt to cut the sweetness. The final layer of the Millionaire shortbread is a nice layer of tempered chocolate. Tempered chocolate is a heat treatment process that you use on the chocolate that will make it shiny, it'll snap nicely, and it has a higher melting temperature than regular chocolate. For this recipe, we need 12 ounces of chocolate. I've used a mixture of milk chocolate and semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're going to need a double boiler. That's a pot with water and a bowl on top of it. This prevents any of the chocolate from burning as you are melting and heating it up. And you'll need an instant read thermometer or candy thermometer to monitor the temperature. In the first step, you want to melt all the chocolate and bring it up to about 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The chocolate is melted and we're about, well, a little over 115 degrees. So now we just need to let it cool down a little bit. While it's cooling down, you want to continue to stir it and cool it down to about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. We've reached 80 degrees, so now it's time to reheat it up to 88 degrees. It only takes about a minute or two to get it back up to 88 degrees Fahrenheit, or thereabouts. After you take it off the heat, you want to stir the chocolate constantly for about 5 minutes. Once you're happy with your temper, you pour the chocolate onto the top of the caramel sauce and spread it out into a nice layer. I like to finish it with a little bit of sea salt. It gives a nice flourish and helps cut some of the sweetness of this dessert. I hope you enjoy this recipe as much as I do.